If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now so you don't miss more content about your favorite actors. Today, we explore the fascinating life of Martin McCann, the talented Irish actor who is conquering both British television and Hollywood. Martin McCann is not just another actor. He is a story of resilience, raw talent, and determination that began on the toughest streets of Belfast and led him to become one of the most respected figures in contemporary entertainment. Born on July 20th, 1983, Martin grew up in one of the most complex areas of Northern Ireland, the Divis Flats on Falls Road, Belfast. This was hardly the typical cradle for a Hollywood star. The Divis Flats were known as one of the most troubled housing complexes in Western Europe during the 1980s and 1990s. Martin lived there with his parents, Martin John Paul and Anne McCann, along with a brother and a sister. His childhood was marked by Northern Ireland's sectarian conflicts, but also by something extraordinary, a mother who believed in the transformative power of art. And McCann had a particular routine. Every morning, she meticulously scanned local newspapers, not for news, but for opportunities. She looked for casting calls, auditions, any chance for her children to escape the limitations of their environment. One day, her persistent search paid off when she found an audition for a local production of Oliver Twist. Martin, just a child, landed the role of Artful Dodger, and that's where it all began. But it didn't stop there. Martin's parents made a bold decision. They enrolled him in Rainbow Factory, an initiative by Youth Action and I that was revolutionary for its time. It was an inter-community theater company that brought together Catholic and Protestant children, something almost unthinkable in Belfast at the time. Here, Martin not only developed his acting skills, but also learned something that would stay with him forever: the power of art to unite what society divides. During summers, Martin participated in exchange programs in the United States. Imagine this young man from Belfast, with a strong Irish accent, navigating American culture while developing a global perspective that would later be reflected in the versatility of his performances. The moment that changed his life came in 2006, when he was 23 years old. Martin was performing in a theatrical production of A Clockwork Orange, playing the iconic Alex. In the audience that night was none other than Lord Richard Attenborough, the legendary director of Gandhi and Chaplin. Attenborough was so impressed that he immediately decided Martin had to be in his next film. That film was Closing the Ring, 2007, marking Martin's cinematic debut. But the most extraordinary part came afterward. Attenborough was so convinced of Martin's talent that he did something almost unprecedented. He personally called Steven Spielberg to recommend him. Yes, Steven Spielberg received a call about this young actor from Belfast who had just made his film debut. Attenborough's recommendation opened Hollywood's doors for Martin. He was invited to Los Angeles to audition for The Pacific, HBO's highly anticipated miniseries that Spielberg was producing with Tom Hanks. Martin not only landed the role, but a significant one: R.V. Bergen, a soldier who fought in some of the Pacific's most brutal battles during World War II. The Pacific became a global phenomenon when it premiered in 2010. The series cost over $200 million and was watched by millions worldwide. For Martin, it meant working alongside actors like James Badge Dale, John Seda, and Rami Malek, years before Malek won an Oscar for Bohemian Rhapsody. The experience positioned him as a serious and internationally respected actor. But Martin never forgot his roots. While Hollywood welcomed him, he kept returning to Belfast for projects that mattered to him. In 2011, he appeared in Killing Bono, a musical comedy about a classmate of Bono who tried to make it in music while U2 became one of the world's biggest bands. Martin played Bono himself, requiring not just acting skills but musical talent as well. His filmography began to diversify impressively. He appeared in Clash of the Titans, 2010, the blockbuster starring Liam Neeson and Ralph Fiennes. Though his role wasn't leading, working on such a large-scale production gave him invaluable experience. He also starred in more intimate films like Whole Lotta Soul, directed by Terry George, known for Hotel Rwanda. But it was in 2018 that Martin truly showcased his range as an actor with caliber. This British indie film, available on Netflix, became an instant critical success. Martin played one of two childhood friends who go hunting in the Scottish Highlands and find themselves in a nightmarish situation. His performance was so powerful that it earned him a BAFTA Scotland nomination for Best Actor. Caliber is more than just a film, it's a masterpiece of psychological suspense. Martin conveys the transformation of an ordinary man under extreme pressure so convincingly that critics compared it to the best work of actors like Michael Fassbender and Oscar Isaac. The film holds a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and established Martin as one of the most promising actors of his generation. At the same time, Martin ventured into The Survivalist, a post-apocalyptic film where he plays the protagonist in a devastated world. The film is particularly notable because Martin carries almost the entire narrative on his shoulders, with very little dialogue and relying almost entirely on his physical presence and facial expressions. It's the kind of acting challenge few are willing to take on. On television, Martin has proven equally versatile. He appeared in ITV's Marcella, a psychological thriller starring Anna Friel, and in the BBC Two miniseries Death and Nightingales, based on Eugene McCabe's novel, where he worked alongside Jamie Dornan and in Skelly. Let's talk about his personal life, because Martin has managed to strike a fascinating balance between his public career and his privacy. He is currently in a relationship with Nadia Milliken, an electropop actress and musician, also from Belfast. Nadia is not just his romantic partner, she is a respected artist in her own right, creating an interesting dynamic where both understand the demands and pressures of the entertainment world. Their relationship has been described by those who know them as both a creative and romantic partnership. Both share the experience of growing up in Belfast during difficult times and finding in art a form of expression and healing. They don't have children yet, but in interviews, they've expressed how much they value the time they can dedicate to each other and their respective careers. Martin maintains a relatively low profile on social media, preferring to let his work speak for itself. When he appears at public events with Nadia, they project the image of a solid, genuinely in-love couple. She has been seen supporting him at premieres and industry events, and he does the same for her musical releases. As for his net worth, while Martin prefers to keep his finances private, industry estimates place it between £2 and £3 million. This includes earnings from his films, TV series, and some production projects he's been involved in. It's not the fortune of a top-tier Hollywood star, but it's considerable for an independent British actor of his generation. Martin has invested wisely in real estate in Belfast and London. He is known to maintain a residence in his native Belfast, reflecting his ongoing connection to his roots, and an apartment in London to facilitate his work on British productions. He isn't known for extravagant spending or an ostentatious lifestyle. He prefers to invest in experiences and his art. Let's talk about his most successful moment right now, Blue Lights. This BBC One series has become a cultural phenomenon in the UK and Ireland. Martin plays Stevie Neal, a veteran Belfast police officer who becomes a mentor to a young rookie officer named Grace. The series tackles complex themes like the legacy of the Troubles, police brutality, and the community tensions that still exist in Northern Ireland. What makes Martin's performance in Blue Lights special is how he humanizes a character who could have been a stereotype. Stevie is described as an extroverted introvert and a lone wolf, but Martin gives him layers of vulnerability and complexity that make him completely real. His on-screen chemistry with Sion Brooke, who plays Grace, has been praised by critics and audiences alike. The series has been so successful that Martin received an IFTA, Irish Film and Television Academy, nomination for Best Actor in a Drama. This nomination is particularly significant because it recognizes not only his talent, but also his contribution to authentically and nuancedly portraying his native Northern Ireland. Blue Lights also demonstrates Martin's commitment to telling stories that matter. In interviews, he has spoken about the responsibility he feels in portraying a police officer in Belfast, considering the complex history of that relationship. His performance skillfully navigates, showing the humanity of individual officers while not ignoring broader systemic realities. But Martin isn't stopping there. His upcoming projects are equally exciting. He is confirmed for Hostage, a Netflix thriller directed by Matt Charman, known for Bridge of Spies. Working with Netflix represents a huge opportunity for Martin to reach an even broader global audience. He is also involved in Trespasses, a Channel 4 series based on Louise Kennedy's novel. The most exciting part of this project is that he will work alongside Gillian Anderson, the legendary actress from The X-Files and The Crown. For Martin, Acting alongside Anderson represents an opportunity to learn from one of the industry's most respected actresses. These future projects show how Martin is strategically positioning himself in the industry. He isn't chasing just the most lucrative projects, but those that allow him to grow as an actor and tell meaningful stories. It's an approach that has worked well for actors like Oscar Isaac and Michael Shannon, who have built lasting careers based on quality rather than pure fame. One fascinating thing about Martin is his work ethic. Colleagues who have worked with him describe someone who always arrives prepared, studies not just his lines but the full context of each scene, and treats everyone on set with equal respect, from directors to production assistants. This professionalism has made him a first choice for directors who value collaboration. Martin has also expressed interest in directing and producing. He has been involved in some projects as an associate producer, learning the business side of the industry. This diversification is smart, especially considering the unpredictable nature of acting careers. When it comes to his artistic influences, Martin has mentioned actors like Daniel Day-Lewis, Gary Oldman, and Mark Rylance as inspirations. What they all share is an absolute dedication to disappearing into their characters, something Martin has consistently demonstrated in his own career. An interesting anecdote: during the filming of The Pacific, Martin immersed himself so deeply in his character that he maintained an American accent between takes for weeks. Tom Hanks, who was an executive producer, joked that Martin was more American than many Americans on set. His connection to Belfast remains central to his identity. Martin has been vocal about his desire for Northern Ireland's film industry to continue growing. He has participated in initiatives to create more local production opportunities and has mentioned his dream of one day directing a film shot entirely in Belfast. Physically, Martin maintains a disciplined exercise routine, especially since many of his roles require significant physical demands. For the survivalist, he had to lose considerable weight to convincingly portray someone living in post-apocalyptic conditions. For blue lights, he maintains a physical condition that allows him to perform many of his own action scenes. At 41, Martin is at a fascinating point in his career. He is no longer the promising young actor discovered by Attenborough. He is now a respected veteran, entering his most productive years. The industry recognizes that he is in his artistic prime, with enough experience to tackle complex roles and the energy to sustain a demanding career. His personal style is notably understated. At industry events, he prefers classic, well-tailored suits over flashy fashion statements. This approach reflects his overall personality: substance over style, talent over celebrity. What sets Martin apart from many of his contemporaries is his genuine love for the acting process. In interviews, he speaks with more enthusiasm about the technical challenges of a role or collaborating with directors than about fame or recognition. He is a true artist in an industry full of performers. His most dedicated fans, known as McCann's on social media, appreciate this authenticity. He isn't the type of actor who constantly posts on Instagram or seeks tabloid attention. His public presence focuses on his work, and when he speaks publicly, it's typically to promote projects or causes he believes in. Martin has also been quietly generous with charitable causes, especially those related to youth in Belfast. He has participated in fundraising events for youth arts programs, similar to those that helped him in his youth. He doesn't publicize these activities, but those involved in Belfast's artistic community know of his ongoing commitment. On the horizon, beyond Hostage and Trespasses, there are rumors that Martin is considering theater projects. It would be a return to his roots, but now with the experience and recognition to take on more challenging Shakespearean or contemporary roles. The industry is taking note of Martin McCann's trajectory. He is the kind of actor who builds a lasting career, respected by his peers, reliable for directors, and genuine in his dedication to his craft. In an era where many careers are meteoric but brief, Martin represents the value of consistency and artistic integrity. His story remains inspiring. A young man from one of Western Europe's toughest neighborhoods who, through talent, hard work, and the right opportunities, became a respected figure in the international entertainment industry. But perhaps the most impressive thing is that he did it without losing his connection to his roots or compromising his values. Martin McCann in 2025 is an actor at his peak, with exciting projects on the horizon and a solid foundation of work that ensures we will continue to see his artistic evolution for years to come. His story reminds us that authentic talent, combined with perseverance and integrity, can still triumph in an industry notorious for its superficiality. If you enjoyed this video, like it and make sure to subscribe for more content about your favorite actors. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. And now, check out the next video on your screen, where we explore the life of another incredible talent you definitely won't want to miss.